Hello, and welcome to the Buchanan on the Go podcast, where we discuss topics in logistics, have a little fun. We're your host. I'm Pat. This is Dale.
Today we're going to talk about the client experience. We'll use client and customer interchangeably, but first let's define each. According to Webster's dictionary, a person or business that purchases a commodity or service is going to be a client, whereas a customer will be a person who pays or retains professional or organizational services.
I think you have those backwards.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It happens to you.
I mean, I'm dyslexic half the time anyway, so thank you for correcting me.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm just happy you found out what Webster's was. That's hilarious.
I wouldn't know what a book was if it hit me in the face.
Could anybody got a book we can throw at him? Oh gosh, that'd be so funny to watch. And these are very similar, but yet they are vastly different. As a logistics company, we're going to deal and address our buyers as customers all the time. I mean, that's just the way we talk. But why don't we migrate that thinking from them as customers into clients? This makes us, again, based on your definition backwards, as the experts, and them choosing us for all of their solutions.
Who would you say are our clients or our customers, however you want to phrase it, here at Buchanan?
I think, Dale, at Buchanan, we have three. I think we have three main clients. The simple one is the external customers on the client side. So the people you deal with every single day.
Okay.
The second one is that internal, the external carrier clients. The carrier customers. So the logistics specialists, when they're calling those trucks, they're clients of ours. They're customers of ours. We want to take care of them.
I would agree with that.
Provide that
in a sense.
And the third, the one that hardly anybody ever thinks of, in my opinion, is our internal teammates. You have people that are working on your freight. You need to treat them just as good as you treat the customers that are handing you the freight. We also have a fantastic admin team. And our logistic coordinating team that's tracking all of these shipments, those people need to be treated with that respect and that service level of being a client.
You know, now that you say that, I totally get that. Before I would be, think, why are my colleagues, why are they clients?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've talked about colleagues before, and I see where you're coming from. I definitely, because you want them to feel like a colleague, like a teammate. That's what we grew up in sports. Everybody, they were a teammate or they were the opposition. Like it was black and white for us. Pretty simple. It was nice.
Right.
So I see where you're coming from, but I think that we just, again, I want to be different here at Buchanan. We are different at Buchanan.
Right, absolutely. What really, makes me think of them as to be clients more so than not just colleagues now is in today's day and age where you can just up and leave your job to go somewhere else. Mm-hmm. If you don't like, problem 1, problem 2, issue 3, whatever it may be. But when you start dealing with them and treating them with the respect that you would treat a client, they're going to be happier. They're going to want to stay. We can kind of piggyback off some of the stuff we said in our last podcast about the retention that we have.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely gone up.
Yeah. All because we're no longer looking at them as colleagues or coworkers. We're starting to look at them as clients and giving them the treatment and the respect that they deserve.
Exactly. Which is phenomenal. I mean, that's what we want to do. So,
all right. So let's break this down. I'll start with an external customer side because, that's who I deal with 90% of the time. And what I do on a day-to-day basis, I'd say the number one thing that I need to do or we need to do effectively is communication.
Okay.
Our clients, they give us a load, they send us an RFQ, we sign an agreement, hey, we'll work with you. But the moment you stop talking to them and you just say, well, hey, thanks for this load. Okay, hey, this load's delivered. It's not what they're looking for. That's a transactional mindset. And we're trying to get out of the transactional mindset and into the dialogue, building that relationship.
Exactly.
We've got customers that we talk to once a week that they're okay with that. Mm-hmm. We've got customers or clients that we talk to 5 to 6 times a day because that is what they need. That is what they expect. And, we're okay with that. It doesn't make us any difference. As long as we're doing it and we're doing it effectively, we'll be able to grow our business. We'll be able to continue our growth. We'll be able to open new doors because, one of my guys, TJ, he has been very, he's pretty laid back.
Yeah.
He talks to the customer via email 95% of the time. I don't think he knows what a phone is.
I was going to say, why do we still have a phone on his desk? I don't think he's picked it up other than for an internal call in the last year.
I think we unhooked his cord at one point.
And he didn't notice?
Didn't notice for at least a day. So what TJ's been doing now is whenever he's picking up from the customer or delivering to the customer, he's going back to the opposite side, so either the shipper or the receiver who's not our customer, and trying to get them to become a client.
That's fantastic.
We're calling them for appointments. Why not ask for the freight while we're there?
We're already communicating.
Yes, and by just simple things like that, we're able to open the window, open the door, letting ourselves in, getting ourselves in. Because if he wasn't doing that and we just showed up, well, one, driver's going to be irritable all day long, so we don't have the appointment.
Yeah. And
if we're already talking to them, why not start the conversation?
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Number 2 is huge on is transparency.
Ooh, buzzword.
Yes, huge buzzword. When it comes to trucking, things happen.
They do.
You're going to have a flat tire. You're going to have to do a DOT inspection. You may have to shut down for 36 hours or whatever it may be. If you can get out ahead of that with the client, you're going to win 95% of the time.
Gary always says that bad news doesn't get better with time. Just get it over with. Have that conversation. Be transparent.
Right.
I love it.
They say no news is good news.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the shipping industry.
No
news can be bad news.
It could be.
Because, we had a couple weeks ago, we were doing a shipment. Truck driver, jerked the wheel because he didn't want to run up the back of somebody because they broke in front of him. Yeah. He put the shipment in a ditch, and instead of waiting till Monday, because this was Friday at 3 o'clock, we could have easily waited until Monday, be like, oh, driver's in an accident over the weekend. Sorry. Instead, 3:05, Wade's on the phone with the customer. Hey, just want to let you know, we're at the file a claim on this. Driver was going to be in an accident, wanted to avoid injuring a lot of people on the highway. Took the car off into a ditch, or took the truck off into a ditch. Just wanted to get you a heads up now so you don't have to wait till Monday. Customer's super appreciative of that because come Monday, when that shipment's supposed to be there on Sunday, they're going to wonder where it's at.
Yep. And they're going to be calling and trying to figure it out.
They'll probably start calling Sunday night, emailing Sunday night. The third, we want to be a problem-solving and a proactive manner, kind of like we were just talking about. So it's a good segue into that.
It is fantastic. So it's a perfect example of one of your guys recognizing there's a problem, the driver being transparent with us, communicating with us, and us proactively attacking it with the customer.
Oh, absolutely. We're trying to quote a project for a customer, and they tell us they're going to give us XYZ amount. We're actually getting less than that. They asked us to ramp up the project, so we had to go back to them and be like, hey, look, if we can do it this way, this is going to be your price. But if we do it this way, it's going to save you $300, $400, $500 a load because you don't need everybody there on Monday and Tuesday. We can spread it out over 2 weeks. Your client that is taking the product will be okay with it because it keeps their floor clean.
Yep.
And then you as our client save
money.
Thousands of dollars by being a problem solver versus, sure, we'll take all your money and move the product and get it there in 2 days. But is that really servicing the client to the best of our ability?
Probably not in this case.
And then the last thing is, we already touched base on this a little bit, is transactional versus relationship. We could sit there and get on a bid board all day long, and we could take freight. We can put our price in. We can move it. Can we grow that way? Sure, we can do it. You take more, you're going to grow.
Simple transaction.
Easily. But how hard is it to maintain that relationship with a customer versus just picking up a new customer on a new TMS site? I mean, I can get into 8 or 9 a week if I really was just going to say, here, we'll do this and never talk to the client again. But, if we're calling them, if we're asking them, what can we do to help you? What are your hot buttons? What are your heartburns? Like, what can we do as a company to help you succeed as a company? They're going to open the doors even wider. They're going to start opening all their bay doors to us instead of just saying, well, here's the one mill that we have. It's yours. Next thing you know, we're running out of 7 or 8 mills for that client.
I think that's a perfect example of where we need to go, the direction that our clients need to understand that we are and how we act. I try to think of when we talk about customer versus client, and you're kind of laying out what you do on your side and why it's important is, well, who's a customer and who is a client? In this fact that, for us, I go to a store and I buy something, and I'm a customer of the store, right?
Right,
I go
absolutely.
my grocery shopping. I'm the Kroger's customer, right? But when I have a tax issue, especially with this year, with everything going crazy,
good God.
and you know this too, I call my CPA. I'm their client. I turn to my CPA when I have questions about things that I don't understand,
Right.
because there's a relationship there. I'm not looking for a transaction
No,
to happen.
no. You know, with you giving the example of shopping, like, sure, if I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to buy something, I don't talk to anybody but the cashier. Sure, I'll be a customer all day long.
Mhm.
But you said with your CPA, I'm going to use my investment guy. I'm his client. He calls me, hey Dale, this stock isn't doing great. We need to get rid of it. It hasn't made you a dime in 6 months. Let's push it out. Or, hey Dale, you've got X amount in this stock. It's rising high. Let's put some more into that and buy some more of that stock. Things like that.
And he's the expert.
He is the expert.
And you rely on his expertise.
I wouldn't know what to do in the stock market.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, what is this? This is all, French to me. I don't know it. Sure, I know
Don't
what
insult
it
the
is.
French, Dale. Don't insult the French.
I mean, I know what it is, but I don't know the intricacies of it to, hey, is this a good investment? Is that a good investment? No, I don't. Well, same thing in the shipping and world.
Yeah.
We are the experts. We do this
day in and day out,
hundreds of times a day.
Yeah.
At our clients, they've got, 15 hats to wear. They've got to produce materials. They've got to sell materials. They got to ship materials. They got to store materials. Well, they have so many different hats on, they may not see the bigger picture every single time.
Yeah.
So that's where we come in as their advisor, as their partner, and help them to the best of our ability.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I'm going to take it from the carrier side, right? So we've got these relationships with our carriers, and I'll reiterate most of the same things. I mean, when we're talking about communication is key, I completely agree on the need to be transparent with our drivers and our carriers. That's absolutely phenomenal. Have to do that. We have to pick up the phone. We have to call the carrier and let them know what our expectations are, first and foremost, and how we're going to communicate with them. We want them to understand that, hey, you know what? You're going to accept this shipment. This is vital to our customer, because that's how we treat it with our customer, that you are going to be the one to move it. We're going to communicate with you, and you have to expect that you're going to be communicating back to us.
Absolutely.
And if that's not going to happen, we don't want to do business with you.
No, it's bad business all around. It kind of goes to the same line with the, our carriers and our clients. If, the receiver that they're delivering to calls and says, hey, we got to push you back 2 hours because we're having malfunctions with our crane. If we don't tell our carrier that, he's going to show up and he's going to be pretty salty immediately.
Exactly.
And that's going to leave a bad taste in his mouth. The next time we call him for a load, he's not going to want to do it for us because we sat around with our thumbs up.
And that defeats the absolute purpose of our having a relationship.
Yep.
And to grow as a logistics company, we have to have those relationships. We have to provide them with the best relationship that we can and treat them how they want to be treated. That old, throw out that golden rule, Dale, that we learned as kids.
Yes.
And let's move on to that platinum rule of treating them how they want to be treated. So I just, it blows my mind, as there's so many freight brokers out there. Right?
Tons of them.
Tons of them. We said in the last episode, 18,000.
Yeah, I mean, how many in Fort Wayne alone? Probably 10,
At
15
least
that I
we
know that I know
Yeah,
about.
Yeah. And how are they acting? Are they treating their carriers this way? I would say most of them don't.
I would say no, because if they were treating their carriers that way, they would probably be as big as us by now.
That's
in
true.
some form. It may not be as a company as a whole, but it's probably, volume wise, they'd probably be pretty dang close.
We do a heck of a lot of
Yes, we do.
I do want to touch a little quickly on the internal side. We talked about it a little bit before. You look at the teammates and the colleague, and I'm seeing them as client opportunities. I want to make sure that our listeners and our viewers are understanding that this is important.
Right.
Treating the people that are in our building, treating the people that work for our organization with the same respect, the same level of concern, as we do our external clients, and setting the expectations for them as well
Right.
is very important.
Yeah, like one of the old sayings is, you don't quit your job, you quit your boss.
Very true.
You know, I've recently stepped up into a management role in the last 90 days.
Mhm.
I'm not treating them like they're everyday Joes. I'm not treating them like they're my best friend. I'm trying to be their manager. I'm trying to be their support staff. I'm trying to do everything that I can to make sure that they have all the tools that they need. I can't survive. I can't succeed without their help.
That's true. And I've talked about this with people around here that, with my team, I try to go, I've got different point people within my team, and I try to go every single day. What are you working on? How's it going? What can I help with? And what do you need from me?
And it's not once a day that we're doing this. It's not like, okay, we get in at 8, we check our emails, we circle the office, we get our coffee, we sit down and go to work, we leave, go to lunch, we come back, we check in at lunch. It's an everyday, all day kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're
a lot more ingrained with your team than I am with mine.
So, we just switched around our office a little bit to change up the dynamic to get the account managers and the brokers closer together. Well, I no longer have my pod of guys where I can just look over my wall and yell at them. So now I got to go over to them and talk to them. It gets me up out of my desk. I'm not just sitting around, getting totally ingrained in what I'm doing. I'm going and asking them for help. And, they come to me with their issues now. Before all this change, we'd all write it out. We just figured out as we went. There was no sounding board. Well, we put some plans in place that, if they need something, come to me. I'm not going to say no.
So now you've got that two-way communication.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They respect me. I respect them. That's the name of the game. Respect.
It
and,
is.
It kind of comes back down to what we also touched on earlier is they can leave at any given time and go anywhere for a job.
That's true.
Like the loyalty for jobs over the last 10, 15 years is not like it was when our parents were working.
Yeah, I was going to say they went to work somewhere and that's where they worked.
Yeah, I mean,
now I've got kids that I'm seeing resumes that are 3 pages long that they're 22 years old. They've worked at 15 different places.
We don't need to get you started on multiple pages.
Oh my gosh.
Today. So the next question I have for you is, how do we continue to go down this path and turn our clients into raving fans?
Raving fans?
So, that goes back to you and I Enterprise days many moons ago.
That's where I've heard it.
Yeah. So, we'd have a guest walk in the door, rent a car, and leave. And if they were extremely happy and they loved us, without even us asking them to do it, they would send an email to us saying, hey, thanks for the Camaro. It really helped my trip, or whatever it may be. Hey, thanks for the upgrade to the SUV. We were able to, take everything that we needed. We want to get that back. We want to get that in the trucking world.
Okay. Well, let's start with defining what a fan is.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So Webster's, I know what Webster's is, so I can do that. Says that it's a person who is extremely enthusiastic about and devoted to some interest or activity. Right? I want to work with those people daily.
Yeah.
So Dale, let's focus on those external clients. What is your team doing to create these raving fans?
Okay, so the first thing that we do, the very first thing that we do from day one with a new customer, our new client, we send them the protocol sheet that we just developed.
Ooh, that was fun to work with.
That was fun to work with. They have telephone numbers, emails, digital business cards. They've got payment stuff. They've got insurance information, all that fun stuff that we proactively send to them so that when and if an issue comes up, because let's be honest, it's transportation, something's going to happen. They already have it at their fingertip.
That's fantastic. And we just got done getting that out, so that's going to be rolling out to a lot of our clients here in the next few months. I'm super excited about that because that's going to set us apart.
Yeah.
And it's going to make those people get more enthusiastic about us. Be more devoted
absolutely.
To us.
The second thing to us that we do for our clients is we've got this awesome cookie shop down the road that sends out cookies.
Ooh, Cookie Cottage.
Cookie Cottage, love them. Shameless plug for them.
Yeah.
So we send them cookies just to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to work with. Like,
that's awesome.
That's relationship stuff right there. You don't just start up and expect the relationship to be, to the nines. You got to earn it. You got to build up the trust.
That's true.
It's just like dating. It's one of my guys, JR, said the trucking industry is like Match.com. Match.com. Where
I'm a little old. Match.com.
Yes, the dating site, Match.com.
I get that part. How is that similar in the trucking industry?
Because we're putting the products that we get from our clients and we're matching up the carriers to move it for them.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
There's a match.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Hopefully it's a match made in heaven.
right. So, and we kind of talked about our quarterly rewards.
Yeah. Yep.
We
did that.
We're building that relationship with them. It's just easy, simple stuff.
I will say that I have gotten some feedback and heard feedback when we send it, especially on our carrier side. When out of the blue, they get something. I think we did our Buchanan trucks for our annual rewards and sent those out. Those are fantastic, by the way. That, just something like that. And the carrier's coming back and like, wow. Like, who does this?
We're their raving fans at that point.
Exactly.
And the more we do that, and the more we jump out and go above and beyond, and they see that, they're going to, turn to us and do the same thing. A lot of times our new prospects want references.
Yeah.
We have to sometimes solicit them. Sometimes we don't have to solicit them. I've got a customer who I said, hey, we're trying to get in with this company. This is their product and they need a reference. Can you, write me up one? I was thinking, they were going to come up with,
hey, I like Dale. He's good. Go for it.
Yeah. No, they letterhead, 3 paragraphs, signed, like actual signed, not just the name typed up. Actually took the time to sign it, scan it in, and send it to me.
Fantastic.
I still have it. Yeah.
That is a raving fan.
That is a raving fan. It kind of was solicited, but it went above and beyond my expectations of what I was going to get.
Exactly. That's fantastic. So, well, I think we're going to wrap up this episode. So until next time,
we'll see you on the road.